lot of people still obviously talking about Ja Morant and the fallout. Finally, we learned what the suspension is going to be. Ultimately, the NBA and Adam Silver decides to give him 25 games. I guess just starting right there, Gilbert, you've had people who have said it's too harsh. You've had people who have said it's not enough. From your standpoint, what do you think?
It's too harsh. And here's the reason. The NBA gun suspensions, the actual gun suspensions has only been 1, 3, and 7 games, right? 7 games has been the biggest that was a gun being fired in a crowded place.
Yeah.
Now, the suspensions like me and what Ja got is not related to gun, it's related to behavior, which is conduct detrimental, which has no number. It can be from 1 to 82 games, depending on how they feel in that moment, that's the unfair part. Like, I would rather just take the gun suspension.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Give
much
me
less games. Yeah.
Give me 3, 7 games. So you're punishing him, but you're not actually punishing him for the actual crime he has committed. Now you're going off of public perception, which is the unfair part.
It is interesting, Gilbert, right? Because then when you look at, okay, hey, this guy, Ja, was in Tennessee. He didn't break any laws as far as I know. I've heard people say, hey, why is he even being suspended?
It's public perception. The public wants him to be stopped. So now the NBA comes in and say, all right, we have to make it look reasonable, right? Where if you just say, hey, wait, he hasn't broken in a law, then you're like, well, he's an NBA player. He needs to be a role model, right? Then you start tapping into that. Now it's uncharted territories where, all right, 25 games, where the NBA association is like, wait, hold on. What did he do again? Oh, because he made himself look bad? That's not 25 games because he made himself look bad. This is self-inflicted, right?
Yeah.
Self-inflicted means he's already lost. He lost what? Powerade? Yeah. That's a fine. Powerade fined him, right? His shoes, they took his shoes away. Well, they brought him back. The NBA, he hasn't broken a crime for you to step in. He's already taken L's. He's taken L's on his public image. He's taken L's on his public outside of the NBA corporations, right? So he's being punished for what he did. NBA, you can't step in until an actual crime has been committed. And now you're coming in and trying to make the rioters and the public feel happy about what you're doing, which is the unfair part. I'm pretty sure they're going to fight it. And it'll be probably 10, 15 games.
I was so curious. I didn't know what you were going to say, Gilbert. Obviously, looking back and yours first indefinitely, and then ultimately it's 50 games, which, I mean, that's such a harsh suspension. I didn't know if you were going to say, hey, why did he get a lot less than I did? Very interesting to hear that perspective from you.
Yeah. With mine, it was technically, it was me being the big mouth, right? I was thinking I was smarter than David Stern, to be honest, right? When he said, we're going to give you 50 games, I said, bullshit. No, you're not. I said, 1 game, this guy had it. It was loaded gun. This game, he got 3. Same offender, did it again on NBA property, 3 games. 1 gun was shot in front of people outside of a club. 7 games. I said, unloaded. I wasn't near. I didn't touch. You know what? I'm going to take it back. I don't know who guns they were. How about that? Right? And David Stern said, okay, well, mentally, I don't think you're stable enough to play. Wow. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? So we're going to suspend you until we think you're mentally capable of playing. Which became 50 games.
Right. He found a way around that.
Yeah. So and that's what it was. And he says, "Are you going to take these 50 games and you're going to keep your contract, you're going to keep your career, see you next year." It's David Stern. So I'm like, well, this is the same guy who took a bribe from another player and said, nah, we're going to go with the real all-star here. So I've seen his power work for me. I'm just on the other end of it.
Right.
Take the 50 games. I'll enjoy my summer or my early summer, and I'll get ready for the season.
Keep your contract and keep that contract. I think anybody would have made that same decision. Like, can't ask somebody to fight under those circumstances. Does that power need to be checked, Gil? Does the Players Association need to say, hey, maybe the NBA shouldn't have these like overarching like capabilities to, like you said, that there are parameters for different violations. Hey, you've got a gun. Okay, here's what it is. But that conduct detrimental, that gives them a lot of power.
Well, they give you a lot of money.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
They give you a lot of money, and no matter what we think, we really, you know what it is sometimes we don't understand the responsibility we have, right? You know, the people that's judging me, you, the rest of the world, we're older.
Yeah.
We have the wisdom now to look and say, you're doing. We didn't have that wisdom at 21, 22, 23. Now, add all the money, we're invincible. Look at the young rappers, look at the young entertainers, the movie stars. They're fucking brats, right? They're little assholes, right? Right?
I'm sure I would have been the same way.
It makes it no different. Like Paris Hilton today ain't the Paris Hilton at 21, right? Right? You know, and that's just the way it is. And because they're on TV all the time, we just assume that they should be more mature than they are. They're not.
Have you talked to him, Gilbert? And do you have any interest in that? If he wanted to, as a guy who has the experience, has been a star in the league, has obviously gotten through controversy, any interest in that?
Yeah, I mean, if he reaches out, you know, a lot of players reach out, to be honest. A lot of players reach out. They ask about deals. They ask about like situations, their look. Like, what do I need to get in this stature? Like, what do I need to do on a court, off the court? Right? You know, me and Bradley Beal talked a lot about imaging and winning the crowd over and little things like that. Because it's like, man, from someone who is in a second round, how did you get this star power?
Right.
And I told him it's about winning the fans over. It's everything. It's your whole aura. So with Ja, if he reached out, of course, right? You know, like this right here it's to me, this is nothing, dude. This is nothing. Like we're fans, and we want to cheer for someone we see turn that corner. We really do. Yeah. We did it for Kobe, Magic, Bird, Jordan. Like that's who we are. Build a solid foundation. Right? The NBA is another world, right? You had a foundation through AAU to get you to this point. Now you need a foundation to move through the NBA, right? People who are going to tell you when you're fucking up, right? People who are gonna keep you responsible, who's going to keep you accountable for your actions. You need a circle of people who are dreamers. They dream big, right? They're not leeching on you. They're helping you build. Right? You have all the money in the world now. So all the things you want, you actually don't need now. You only want when you don't have something. Right. Like when I don't have money, I want everything. I got it now. Well, I don't need it now. Right. It's not a fantasy anymore.
Right.
Right. So the money is not important at this point. It's now your career. You got all the rookies. You got paid for what you have done up until now. High school, elementary, you just got rewarded for what you've done.
Right.
Right? Now, you are starting at zero. What you do going forward is what you're going to be paid for moving forward. You know, if you think like that, like, all right, I got rewarded for all my hard work back then. Now for my next contract, it starts today.
Wow.
And that's how you have to really look at it. You can't look at it. I'm number one pick. I got paid because
I made it now. No.
You didn't make it. That was just rewarded for what you've been putting your body through. That next contract, that's what you're doing in the next 3 to 4 years.
Right. Hey, how many guys at the top of the draft have we seen one contract and they're out? I mean, they're done.
Because they got that contract, think they made it. You didn't make it. You didn't make it. You didn't. And that's how it is. You did. Same thing with rappers. There's no making it. There's no such thing as making. There's always another level to get to. You know, you make the all-star. Okay, cool. There's guys with 17 of those.
Right.
You got 16 more to go before you get in that door. You know, and that's what you strive for. You strive for just moving forward every year, every 2 years, every 3 years. And that's how you build success and build these legacies.
How about his size, though, Gilbert? Are you concerned about just how damn skinny he is and strength?
No, because when KD came, it's buckets, right? Buckets. If you can get buckets, you can get buckets. They don't matter how strong you are because it goes against you, right? It's if someone tries to bully you, it's gonna look like you're getting bullied, and that's gonna be a foul. So he only has two people in the position that he's gonna be guarding. You have Embiid and Joker,
Right. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's 6 games a year. That's going to be real tough for you.
Right. Gonna be hard night.
Other than that, there's no one in your position. Everyone sucks, right? Everyone's trash, right? You have Lopez, you got undersized Al Horford, you got Siakam in, they're playing him at the center now, right? You don't have no one that really is going to challenge you in your size. So for the most part, you should be fine. You should be perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about being bullied, right? It's nah.
Right, because you hear people talk and they make it sound like he's going to get like broken in half when he plays his first NBA game.
Siakam is going to break him? Like, who's going to break him at the center, right?
It's not the old days, right? It's
You have Anthony.
There's no Shaq out there.
You have Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis plays the same type of game. Other than that, they're thinking that's what they're thinking. The NBA is Shaq.
Right, there's no Shaqs anymore.
Lonzo, Yao Ming. No. There's 2 to 3 centers that he has to worry about. Other than that, this is a cakewalk through the center position. Right now, I have obviously 2 shows. Underdog Fantasy. We have Gil Arena.
Yep.
But Gil's Arena, with Brandon Jennings, Rashad McCants. Then we have guest appearance Miko Grimes, Brent Grimes' wife.
Yeah.
Then we have Kenyon Martin, where it's just an everyday talk show. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right now we're on hiatus. We're going to come back on the 10th, 11th, and
beautiful July.
Summer League. Yeah, we're going to come back Summer League season 2. And then I have No Chill with Gilbert Arenas on Fubo Sports with Josiah Johnson. So he's on both. He's the co-host for both, right? When you have something good, you got to bring it with you.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We do our thing.
Got great chemistry together.
Yeah, so most people don't know the difference between the shows because the 2 co-hosts are the same, but they're both different. One is interviewing everyone about their careers, and the other one is just talking sports. So it's great having both, and just putting out that that great basketball talk, unfiltered. I think it's great because you get to really say what you're feeling. You don't really got to play that narrative and try to sugarcoat stuff. And as you can see, more NBA players are coming in. You're getting more and more real basketball talk versus the analytic side of it.